All right, here we go.
All right, so prop that you will need. We are going to be doing some foot stuff today because it's foot week. Just grab your, that's what it is. Grab yourself a towel, just a little hand towel if you have one.
All right, let me go grab one.
Yeah, go grab that.
All right. Here we go.
All right, you ready? So, Temple, I am going to request that you remove your shoes and socks if you have those on, since it is foot hour.
I only had socks on, so okay.
Okay, so that's good. That's easy. So we're going to start out this whole stretch session working from the bottom to the top. So remove your shoes and socks if you have those on. And now nice and easy, we're going to start just from a standing position. I want you to use the ground and just kind of give your foot a massage. So work your hips all the way around. Hit your heels, hit the outside edges of your feet, hit the inside edges of your feet. Dig your toes into the ground and switch direction. Hi, Robin. It feels weird saying Robin. That's weird.
You can call her Mimi.
In an ideal world, if we all had lacrosse balls, we would be using lacrosse balls and doing this, but we're making do with what we have. And now let's just go forward and back. Dig your feet and come up onto your toes and come up onto your heels. Shift your weight up, shift your weight back.
All right, so
And then come on to the outside arches of your toes and the inside arches of your feet. Woo. All right, shake that out. And now from here, we're gonna do a little bit of toe movement. So, fun fact, our toes were actually designed to have the same functionality as our fingers, but since we spend all of our time with our feet, with our shoes inside, with our feet inside shoes, we lose that function and ability. So we've got to practice moving our feet. It's important. So nice and easy. I want you to make a mind connection to your toes and lift all 5 toes up and bring all 5 toes down. All 5 toes back up. All 5 toes back down. And 5 toes up.
your toes. You're lifting your whole foot.
5 toes down. Yeah, just lift your toes. Lift your toes.
I'm
All
lifting
5
my
toes.
foot.
And now bring all 5 toes up. Hold here. Now I want you to spread your toes out wide.
Ooh.
And toes back together and back down 2 more times. Lift all 5 toes up. Spread your toes out. Toes back together and back down. Last time. 5 toes up. Spread the toes wide. Toes back together and bring it back down. All right, now connect your mind to your big toe. Leave your 4 toes down. Lift your big toes up.
Wow.
And big toes back down. Big toes up. Big toes back down. We're going to hit that 3 more times. Big toes up and back down. If you can't do this, don't get too frustrated. This mental connection here of the mind to the toe, it's a muscle. It's a muscle. We have to train it. So we practice it. If your toe is not moving at all right now, I promise you keep practicing this every day. Give it time. It will move. Good. Now we're going to work on keeping that big toe down, lifting up the other 4 toes.
I can't do that.
That's asking for a lot.
I can.
So 4 toes up, 4 toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down. Last one, 4 toes up and 4 toes down.
Rob,
All
I
right.
feel like I'm back in physical therapy for my ankle.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, now from here, we've got 2 more rounds. We're gonna lift all of our 5 toes up. Now we're gonna place our toes down 1 at a time, beginning with the pinky toe. Pinky toe down, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, and big toe. 2 more times. All toes up, And one at a time, bring the toes down. Good, last one. Someone told me once that we should be able to play the piano with our toes. I'm like, okay. And last round, all 5 toes up. Now we're gonna place down 1 toe at a time, beginning with the big toe. If anybody can do this, I'm always really impressed because I am not able to do this. But I'm practicing. 3 times, all 5 toes up. Big toe, second toe,
Down.
third toe, fourth and fifth. Last time, all toes up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Good. Shake those feet out.
That was
Good.
hard.
That's something. That's something. All right. So now let's take that towel. So now we're going to do a little bit of work for the arches of our feet. All right. So I want you to just take that towel. You can kind of roll it up. Roll it up like so. Whatever it is. Maybe fold that in half. So now I'm going to just drop this camera down so that you could see my feet. So we're going to take that towel. I want you to squeeze it in between your heels. All right, so squeeze that in between your ankles, in between your heels. So from here, so you're going to hold this. I want you to squeeze that. Notice how when you squeeze that with your ankles, you feel some stuff going on in your big toe, like in the inside of your foot. So hold this, and now pick up your pinky toes. So we're really focusing on driving through your big toe and the pad of the foot that's close to your big toe. So now from here, you can go up to a wall or up to a counter. Use that just as support. Squeeze that towel, drive that big toe down. Now from here, we're gonna go into a calf raise, focusing on pushing up through that big toe and keeping those pinky toes elevated. This is a great drill. If you're a runner, this is really good for the arches of your foot. This is also really great if you suffer from shin splints. Really good conditioning drill for the feet. So we're just gonna work this for about 30 more seconds. Again, making those pinky toes light, pressing into those big toes. Beautiful. And let's take this for about 10 more seconds. And you can finish that up. Shake that out. And one final drill that we're going to do for our toes. I want you to take that towel, drop that towel down, and we're going to work one final toe drill. So, Robin, you were talking about physical therapy. This is actually something that I saw from a physical therapist on Instagram, but I think it's a really, really great drill for working like toe flexion and toe activity. So we're going to work on grabbing the towel with your toe, maybe driving that knee up and releasing and dropping it down. Yeah.
No.
And we're just going to spend 30 seconds working this on the right side, 30 seconds on the left side. But I want you to also start doing this while you're watching TV at night. If you want to make this a heck of a lot harder, find some pencils, find some marbles, try it out with that. Again, if you can do that, I give you credit.
So you can't do this. This is what I used to have to do.
This is also where, like, I know for me, just because of like a lot of past injuries that I've had on my left ankle and my left foot,
Yeah.
I'm way better on my right side. And let's switch sides, practice that on your left side. Good, 20 more seconds.
Can't lift, but I can scrunch.
Scrunch is good.
Yeah.
Practice it.
I can't even scratch.
She
Oh, wait.
can't. Oh!
Oh, got it.
Her toes are also the length of her fingers, so.
I am, you know, hey.
I have very long
strength.
toes. I don't know what that means.
All right, finish that up, shake that out.
Okay.
All right, now we're gonna take it down to the ground. Ah,
Point it so she can see us.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna give the toes a little break, but we're gonna finish off our feet series here with a little passive foot stretch. So I'm gonna start, I want you to pull that right shin up and in. Yep. So the bottom of your right foot is gonna be pointing up at you. So now watch me here. I'm gonna use my left foot to create a stretch with my right. So I'm gonna take my left foot. I'm gonna place this top portion here of my left foot on top of the right. So can you guys see how I have that design there? So I have the top third portion on that, on that right foot. So now from here, start pulling your right knee up. We're gonna create a stretch on the top side of that right foot. So now if you don't feel much of a stretch when you're pulling that right knee up, scoot your hips around a little bit. The farther away that you go, the more you'll feel. But play around with it. And when you find that stretch, we're gonna hold there.
Feel my plate.
Yeah, I've got that. All right. Yes, bionic woman over here.
That's a funky feeling, I have to tell you. This is a funky feeling.
It's a nice little top foot stretch. We've got 10 more seconds here, so breathe.
Ooh.
Oof. Oof. Top foot stretch, good. And 3, 2, wind that down, good. Now we're gonna pull that left heel up and in. And I want you to bend that right leg. Take your hands, bring them underneath your knees. So give your leg a nice little cradle here. So now we're gonna work our knee out a little bit. So we're gonna start by internally rotating your shin. So turn your shin bone towards your body. You're not gonna get much movement here. This is a tibia rotation. That joint does not move that much. So nice and slight, I'm just rotating inward. Now I'm extending that knee, rotating outward and bending. Yep. So if you take your fingers like to the outside of your knee, there's 2 little bones. There's a bone that points out here, a bone that points out there. If you rotate that shin, you should feel those bones pressing into those fingers. Yeah. Again, all stuff that we could practice. So let's just take that back and forth, bending and flexing that knee. Good. Womp, womp, womp. Good. And let's leave that leg extended. Try to keep that knee as straight as you can or micro bent. And we're gonna get 5 nice slow ankle rotations in each direction. And switch. And now from here, let's lie that right leg down. Keep as much of a bend in that knee as you need to. We're gonna do a nice little forward passive hamstring stretch. So I want you to make those toes active, pull them up towards your face. Big chest here, fold forward. I want you to bend that knee as much as you need to rest your chest on that thigh. And relax your head down. And just breathe here. We're gonna spend about close to a minute here, nice and passive. So really find some breath here. Every exhale, try to relax a little bit more. Maybe as you relax, you're bringing the bottom side of that leg closer to the ground. But make sure that we're initiating that bend at the hips and not in that top part of our back. Good, we've got 12 more seconds. So give me 3 more good breaths. And nice and easy, slowly come back up to the top. And now from here, we're gonna take a side lying position. So come on down to your left side so that right leg is on top. So from here, we can get a little Jane Fonda, use your hand as a pillow. So guys, from here, I want you to stack your right hip over your left hip. Really important here. Pretend that you have a wall behind that low back. So we're gonna be going into some hip rotation. Now, when we go into our hip rotation, our bodies have this tendency to try to like cheat movements when they get really hard. So you'll feel sometimes that your top hip might be falling backwards. Resist that. Keep those hips stacked, all right? That doesn't mean you have more hip space. That just means that your body's cheating. So again, wall is behind your low back here. Now, nice and easy, we're gonna go into these hip rotations. So start by driving that right knee up towards your chest. When you reach a roadblock, point that knee up to the ceiling. Maintain that. Start rotating the other way. Reach back with that knee. Back as far as you can. Good. Then come back to the top. Complete that rotation. So what we're doing here, think about drawing the biggest circle that you possibly can with that right knee. Good. We've got
Hips don't lie.
hips don't lie. We've got about 30 more seconds here. Then we're going to change direction. Try to go at about a 1 mile per hour pace, whatever that means for you. So we're going slow here. That's why we're spending time here going for time, not necessarily for reps, because we care about the quality of the reps more so than the number of reps. Nice and slow. Try to keep the rest of that body solid. And now we're going to reverse the direction. So starting from the beginning, now we're going to initiate the movement by reaching that knee back into hip extension, pointing that knee up to the ceiling into that rotation, driving that knee up towards your chest. Whoo! Fire in the right glute. Good. 5 more seconds. And finish up that rep. Whew. And let's turn over, take a seat, and we're gonna go back to the top. So let's take that on the other side. So we're gonna go back into that foot stretch on the left side. So pull that left shin in, bottom of the foot points up towards you. Take that right foot. And again, we're stepping that top third portion of that right foot onto that left foot. Step there. Reposition your hips however you need to and start pulling that left knee up. So again, we're creating this torque on that top side of that left foot, finding that stretch. How you doing over there, Robin?
I'm doing well. I'm looking at Lori. She doesn't have a lot of good flexibility.
I played soccer my whole life. We're not flexible.
That's why we're working on your feet today.
That's right.
It's good. All right, about 10 more seconds in this stretch. Top of the feet. Good. And slowly come out. And let's pull that right knee up and in. And cradle that left leg. And we're going to go into those knee rotations. So again, find that shin rotation here. Again, maybe work back and forth. Again, I recommend bringing 2 fingers to either side of your knee. This is a really hard rotational movement to figure out for some people, that tibia rotation. Again, it's just practice. For me, I like to bring my heel down onto the ground so this shin is nice and in line, bringing both sides of my fingers to either edge of my knee. And again, just practicing working back and forth. So find that. Again, if you don't have it, don't worry about it too much. It's something we can practice as we go through this week to week. But let's start by rotating inward and extending that knee, rotating outward and bending. up. We're going to spend about 30 more seconds here. Good. And finish that last rep. Let's leave that leg extended. And now we're going to go into our ankle. 5 good rotations one way. And 5 the other way. And after those 5, let's bring that left leg down. Again, find as much bend as you need to in that knee. A straighter leg does not mean a better hamstring stretch. So be kind to your joints. Nice bend, flex those toes towards your face. Fold forward and bend that knee enough so that you can rest your chest onto your thigh. And fold forward. Let's relax here. I'm going to spend about 40 more seconds in this stretch. So really focus on breathing. On that exhale, try to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Feel a little bit more relaxed. Good, we've got about 10 more seconds here, so give me 2 more good deep breaths. And slowly bring that back up. And now we're gonna hit those hips on that left side. So come on over, lie down on your right side. Left leg is up. All right, and once again, pretend you've got a wall right behind your hips, right behind that low back. We're gonna start by driving that left knee up towards your chest, hip flexion, then point that knee up towards the ceiling, hold that, start reaching back with that knee, and reset. Good, so we're drawing the biggest circle possible as you can with that left knee.
Cracking.
Crack.
Oh, big crack in my hip. Ow.
Cracks are good, crunches are good, all of that stuff is fine. We just don't want any pinching or any pain associated with that. So if you start to feel something like that going on, take a little bit of a less intense rotation. Work within your limits. Five more seconds, then we're going to change direction. And switch it up. Let's take that the other way.
You're about to kick me in the face. I'm right near your face.
Good. 15 more seconds. Left glute is burning. And finish up wherever you are at. And beautiful, good. Now from here, we're gonna come on to all fours. So just turn yourself over. Get into your quadruped position here. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're gonna go into our cat-cow. Focus here is gonna be on that segmentation. So try to move your lower back, your mid back, and your upper back separate from each other. So when we're going into that cow, initiate with just that low back. Think about climbing the staircase of your spine, working one part at a time. It might not actually happen, but again, a lot of this is just practicing that communication from your brain to your body. All this is practice. So we're inhaling as we go into that cow. Exhaling as we round and go into flexion. Let all that breath out. Work on syncing that breath with your movement. All right, we've got about 20 more seconds here. Good, and finish that up. And now from here, we're gonna come into a seated position. So we're gonna get into our hips a little bit more. So we're gonna come into a bear sit. So you could sit on a pillow if you'd like, or if you're uncomfortable sitting on like your tailbone like so, you could come up against a wall if you'd like to. But either way, we're gonna find a bear sit. So a nice wide seated position. So from here, if you could come to the outside edges of your feet, that'll give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. So come to a point where you have your hands on your ankles or your shins and you feel a nice stretch in your hips. Find that position, pull those shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall. So we have our elbows pressing into our knees and our knees pressing into our elbows. We're getting a really, really nice groin stretch here. It's fantastic, right?
Yes.
Good. So we're gonna start just by sitting here. We're gonna spend some time, get comfy here. So let's just get us some neck rotations in. Give me 3 nice slow neck rotations in one direction and 3 in the other direction. Take our attention away from the epic groin stretch. Good, bring that back to center. All right, now from here, we're gonna add a little bit of work into this stretch. So we're gonna do some progressive stretching. So on my cue, we're gonna start adding some movements, a little bit of slight movement to this. So we're gonna start actively pressing our knees into our elbows. As we do that, we're gonna press our elbows into our knees. So your knees are gonna be trying to close those elbows like a book. Your elbows are going to be resisting that, all right? So you're not gonna actually move at all, but there's gonna be this active force going on, this like push-pull with those legs. So take a deep breath in and now progressively start working up to about 20% of your maximum effort, pressing those knees into those elbows. Nothing moves here. Everything is nice and tight and solid, but we're pressing those knees into those elbows. Now, slowly working up that scale, work up to about 40% of your maximum overall effort. Good, keep breathing, keep holding, find tension in your core. Build that up to 60. Good, keep pressing those knees into those elbows, shoulders back. And work that up to 80% of your overall effort. So you're really pressing those knees into those elbows. You're feeling a nice stretch. Fire, fire, fire in those hips. And work up to your highest, safest effort and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay in that position. Now we're going to reverse that. Now I want you to pull those knees away from your elbows. Pull, 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 and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your elbows now to meet your knees. Hold here. I'm going to take a couple seconds of a break and we're going to go through that one more time. All right. Get into position. Pull those shoulders back, nice and steady. Deep breath in on that exhale. Round 2, start pressing those knees into those elbows. Good, press them, press them, press them. 20% effort here. And climb that ladder up to 40% effort. Think about climbing up that scale. We're going through 21, 22, 23. All the way up to 40. And start climbing to 60. Press and feeling some fire in those hips, fire in the inside of those hips, and work up to 80%. Good, we're working, we're working, we're working. And find your safest, highest effort and hold here. Good, body is shaking. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Flip the switch, reverse that. Pull those knees away from those elbows. Pull, hold, hold, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Slowly come out of that. Let's bring your hands behind your back and just rock those knees back and forth, side to side. Woo! Jello hips. Jello hips. Beautiful. What's that?
My hips are not jello. They're more like cement.
I have cement hips. You don't, Temple. You don't. Good. All right, guys, let's flip that over. Flip that over, and nice and easy, let's come up to a standing position. So come up to an extended plank. Let's start by pressing up into a down dog, back out to a plank. So we're just working out all that stuff. Hit that leg 3 times, then walk your hands back to your feet. Come on up nice and slow. All right, we're gonna finish up just by nice and slowly, just hitting some of the upper body, and then I will release you. Definitely more lower body focus today, but we're just gonna give that upper body some attention too. So bring your hands over to down by your side. All right, so I want you to pretend if you have like a seam in your pant leg that goes down to the side, or just pretend that you do. If you don't, bring that middle finger so that it's on that seam. Keep those fingers there. We're gonna go into our shoulder blades. So push those shoulders forward, lift them up, pull them back, pull them down while keeping those fingers into position. Good. Nice, get any creaks and cracks out. And change direction.
Ow.
What's that?
I don't know about getting it out, but it's definitely cranking and cracking.
It's cranking and cracking. I feel that. Good, and bring that to a stop. And now let's bend our elbows at our side. We're gonna hit our wrists. So take it so that, make some fists. I want the pits of your wrists to be pointing up. And now from here, without getting any movement really in the elbows or the shoulders, hyper focus on those wrists. So point those thumbs inward, pull them up, pull them out and back and around. So yeah, so we're really working on isolating those wrists. So keep your fingernails so that they're pointing and facing your body. I want you to actually look at your wrists while you do this. You should be able to see all 4 of your fingernails the whole time. You can't see the thumbnails because they're on the outside. And switch direction. Good. And now from here, we're gonna hit our elbows. So bring that to a pause. So our thumbs are still pointing up. Let's extend those elbows down. And now from here, pretend that the air just got like 90% thicker. Let's get a nice air bicep curl going up. And point those hands down and curl down. Keep those wrists straight. Up and down. Give me 3 more. Up and down, good. And let's shake that out. What's that?
I think she thinks she has hand puppets on her hand.
Arc. And guys, we're gonna finish up with our shoulders. So keeping those fists, we're gonna go with our shoulders both at a time. So start by extending those arms out straight, and from here, start by driving those shoulders upwards towards your ears. When you start to feel a roadblock happening, there's stuff going on in your shoulders, turn your knuckles away from your body. Yep, point both knuckles out. Yep, the other way. So I'm gonna figure so that you guys can see me. So I'm here. Point your knuckles away. So your thumbs are pointing forward. Reach back, 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 back until you find your hip. Now we're gonna reverse that. Opposite rotation. Good. Bring it back to the top. Good. Give me 4 more. So up into shoulder flexion. Turn those thumbs away from your body. Reach back. Back of the hand meets the hip. Reverse. Good. And 2 more.
Jesus.
Come on, Temple.
Morris, you know I used to take your in-person class and how terrible I was.
Come on. Oh. All right. After those reps, guys, shake that out. Let's just go nice and fast and loose side to side. Ah. And back to the top. And let's finish up. 3 deep breaths. Inhale in, exhale. Reach those arms up and out. And inhale in. Reach up and out. Last one. Beautiful. Oh, that was fun.
Thanks, Rob.
I needed that.
Good.